What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best prismatic Warlock build in Destiny 2. This setup is built around the cenotaph mask and is by far the best exotic item for an S tier support build. As a support, your gameplay loop will be much more passive, since our objective will be to target large enemies and provide to yourself and your teammates trace rifles and heavy rifle ammo. The general idea is that when you or your allies defeat enemies, then they will steadily receive automatic ammo regeneration. So overall, if you're looking for the new meta support build, which is amazing for group play and has an amazing survivability, then this is the one for you. So let's take a look at our setup. For our super, we're using the Well of Radiance. This solar super has been the meta for pretty much all Warlock supports, as all players can become nearly invulnerable within the circle of the well, while also getting radiant and restoration effects. Just don't forget that if you're using this for a damage phase with the teammates nearby, then don't move around within the well, as at that point you're likely to damage your teammates. Next we have our abilities, and for the first one we have the Phoenix Dive. This is a great option for those warlocks looking to not just stand in a circle, but instead continue to glide around the battlefield. Next we have the Shave Glide. Your jump ability is up to you, but for me personally, I found that the Shave Jump works the best. Next we have the Incinerator Snap. This is just a simple melee that has a close but wide attack range. Also, the Scorch applied by this can affect multiple targets at once. And then finally we have the Fusion Grenade. This is a phenomenal option if you combine it with the Touch of Flame. Pretty much your grenade will explode twice, so this is a great option for the champs. Next up we have the Aspects. For the first one we are going with the Touch of the Flame. Because of this, now your grenades have enhanced abilities, aka you get Fusion, so your Fusion grenades will explode twice in a row. And then for the second one we have the Heat Rises. This is just a great option to consistently keep up your healing and melee energy. You need to consume your grenade to cure yourself and the teammates. Also, this ability to shoot, use melee and throw out grenades while gliding is very fun, which also helps you to build up your melee energy even quicker. Just don't forget to use the Heat Rises first before the Phoenix Dive, so you can activate restoration faster. Next we have the Fragments. My first choice is the Ember of the Torches. This will power melee attacks against enemies, which makes you and nearby allies radiant. This is perfect for consistent activation of more weapon damage and intrinsic barrier stuns. Next we have the Ember of the Empyrean. So now solar weapons or ability Final Blows will extend the duration of the restoration and radiant effects apply to you. You should just keep in mind to consistently have both of these buffs up and active if you plan to use the Solar Trace Rifle. Then also we are using the Ember of the Searing. By defeating scorched targets, this will grant us melee energy and create a fire sprite. With the Indescendant on your Trace Rifle, we will be consistently scorching the enemy targets. And finally, for the last one we have the Ember of the Seeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets, so you want to use the Phoenix Dive back instantly after scorching targets with your Trace Rifle. Next up we have our required gear, and for this build we need to use the Cenotaph mask. This is a very versatile option among all the other subclass elements, and is a very powerful S tier support exotic. When an ally defeats the marked target, special ammo is generated for you and heavy armor for your allies. So because of this, your teammates won't ever have to run out of ammo. And you can get this item from purchasing it from the Zor, and his loot will rotate weekly. Also, you can go to Decrypting Exotic Engrams at the Rahul. This will be a random exotic drop, but will prioritize exotics you currently do not have, which is known as the Knockout system. And more guides about that you can check on my channel. You can also farm the Expert Loss sector on the Helmet Armor days. And finally, this is also available as a job from the Vex Strike Force. Next up we have our armor mods, and for the helmet we want to use the Special Ammo Finder, Heavy Ammo Finder and Hands On. Then for gloves, get the Heavy Handed, Impact Induction and Focusing Strike. Then for chest, here you can get any resistance mod of your choice, but personally for me I went with the Solar Resistance, Arc Resistance and Void Resistance. Then for legs I went with the Arc Weapon Surge, Innervation and Recuperation. And finally, for class item I chose to go with the Powerful Attraction, Reaper and the Bomber. In short, armor mods are unlocked by progressing through your Guardian rank, and you can check out my mods guide in this video's description. Then as far as weapons go, my recommendation for the kinetic weapon is the Midnight Cup. I love to use this for the light variant because of its original trait that reduces our cooldown on our grenade. Then for energy weapon we are using the Divinity, the ultimate support trace rifle. This one is great for adding extra damage to enemies for your teammates and enabling you to stun overload champs instantly. And then finally for the power weapon we have the Wendigo GL3 Adept. This is the perfect grenade launcher to use for this season as he has great perks and amazingly high damage. Next we have stats, and our main stat priority is resilience, then discipline, then recovery, and then everything else. Resilience is the amount of damage you can take before dying, as well as your shield capacity, so that's why we want to focus on it as much as possible. Next we have discipline, which reduces our grenade cooldown. And finally we have recovery, which is how long it takes for your health to regenerate after you take damage. Then for one of the last things we have the artifact perks. This setup does not benefit very well from a lot of artifacts, because it is focused more on stasis. So for the first one we have the kinetic impacts. This is great since you can boost our heavy grenade launcher power. Second we have the killing breeze. This will give our final blows a special mobility bonus, which is very useful as it will count traits as more than just one. Next we have the Field Revenant. This will deal increased weapon damage to the Scorn. Next we have the Total Carnage. This will give us damage resistance when we finish off our enemies. And finally we have Debilitating Wave. If we finish an enemy, then he will emit a damaging stasis wave. I recommend to work towards unlocking the boost for this artifact perk, as this will also give us a slow effect with the wave itself. And now finally we have come to the gameplay. And as this is a support oriented build, so this is very simple. So for our Solar Warlock, the gameplay loop is much more passive, since this is a support build. Targeting larger enemies is the job of this build, since getting heavy bricks for your team is the play. Also, champions are the main focus, since their individual abilities can devastate a team. Larger bosses will just need few taps from a trace rifle to mark them for damage, so feel free to use it on general mobs, since the final blows will drop a special ammo brick. Also, using the Well of Radiance during a damage phase in tight situations is the key for survivability. And a quick tip for keeping up with your healing is to consume your grenade to activate the Heat Rises. With this you can Phoenix Dive to add restoration to yourself and keep it going with the Ember of the Empyrean. You'll definitely have consistent heals from taking targets down with your Solar Trace rifle. Overall, the cenotaph Mask Sword Warlock is the ultimate support build, thanks to its versatility in multiple activities. Access to ammo, healing and damage is something that every Day 1 raid team will need, and this build brings exactly that. Likely you won't have the most kills or top damage with this setup, however you will definitely be the best support in the game, and that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. If you are interested in more content, then check out my channel and I will see you in the next one, so take it easy, peace.